Hello, thanks for joining me. So today we're going to do another roster review for my Marvel Strike Force account here. I guess I've started doing these monthly. I like doing it, so I'm probably going to keep up with it. I did want to mention I got a very nice comment from, I think it was Fuck Final Fantasy 8, I believe is the user. Just saying like, hey, don't take the fact that we don't comment on these Marvel Strike Force videos, personally. It's just that, a lot of us don't play that game and, we still like your content and hearing you talk about stuff and stuff like that. So I thought that was super nice. I couldn't find the comment. I don't know if it was deleted or, they deleted it or it went into the spam or who knows what. But I appreciate that. I wanted to say that. And this is my channel and I vlog about like what I'm doing. I just happen to be into this game quite a bit. I'm the alliance leader. I'm just, I'm having fun with it. So let's take a quick look at my roster here. Um, I think it's been about 3 weeks since I made the last one of these videos, but the first one I made at the beginning of the month, the beginning of October. It was, I think, October 7th, something like that. So today's the 6th of December, so I think that's the kind of general schedule that I want to keep. So we can see the top of my roster here. I'm comparing this to those screenshots that I took last time. I just think that you can see, my roster a little more clearly when I record it on the phone here. The audio is going to suffer, but, what can you do? So, Hela here is, I think, one of the big things that have progressed this past month. We have her at 196 shards out of 200, almost at 6 full stars. Now that is going to allow me to unlock Phoenix just as soon as I get those other 4 character shards for her. So that's great. I was only about, just a little over 100 shards towards her 6th star last time I made this video. So, it's slow going, but I'm just farming it once a day, trying to get 2 shards per day. And I still have plenty of time, actually, before Phoenix comes around again, so really excited about that. I am going to miss Ebony Maw. I think Ebony Maw is coming up here pretty soon, but the only reason why I'm even, lamenting the fact that I'll miss Ebony Maw is that I did unlock Black Bolt. Black Bolt's event came around here with you only need 5-star as Guardians for that, and Black Bolt has been unlocked, so that is exciting. I will show you more about that in my roster. So you can see here my favorites. These are just characters that I'm working on farming right now. We have Aim Security, Hydra Sniper. These characters are ones that, I'm using those teams, so I do want to, make them better. But really, it's just, I've found that characters that have red stars that I'm not utilizing, I really would like to utilize them. Red stars make your characters a lot stronger, and even if they're not super important characters, it depends. I need to be using them personally, but if I'm using them, I'd like to take advantage of those red stars. So, aim team is not one that I want to sink many more resources into, but they're one of my better teams, and so I'm working on getting aim security up to that 5th star. Hydra Sniper on war defense, getting him up to that 5th star, so that'll be great. Other than that, it's also Inhumans. So that's what I realized is if I want to get Ebony Maw, I need my Inhumans all at 5 stars. So for Ebony Maw, I'm not going to be able to use Yo-Yo because she's not reliably farmable. I only have her at 3 stars anyway. So I'm farming Ms. Marvel, Karnak, and Quake. Right? Karnak obviously is the one that I have the lowest stars for, but 3/4 of the way up to a 4th star, and then we'll just work on that 5th star. So I think I'll have obviously I'll have plenty of time to do that before Ebony Maw's event comes around again. But unfortunately, I think his event's coming up in like the next week or something. So unless I spent major money, I wouldn't be able to level these characters up in time, which is fine. I'm not gonna do that. I'll just wait. Yeah, and then Colossus. So I think mostly I was just really excited that I uncovered Colossus's node. I was talking about that before. I was stuck on the Heroes 7 campaign, I believe, last time. So, excuse me, we can see here, I got all the way to the end. I 3-starred a bunch of these. Some of these I was having trouble with here, like I only got 1 star here. But we can see the team that I used for this stuff, the team that managed to barely eke out a 1 star on this. It was Nick Fury, Shield, whatever he is, guard or something, and then we've got Psylocke, X-23, and Cyclops. So this has been a really good team for those. Then I think once we get to the last 3, it was actually cosmic characters. So I think I used them all the way through here. We can see what those cosmic characters were. We had Star-Lord, Cable, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, and Invisible Woman. So all good stuff there. I think, unlocking Invisible Woman and deciding to build her up specifically to get through those nodes was, I think, was key for me personally to get through there. I guess you can see now I could use Black Bolt, so like if I'd waited even a little extra and gotten Black Bolt and then built him up, I'm sure he would have helped me get through these nodes, but I was able to do it with this team. Aside from Star-Lord, I don't really want to sink probably too many resources into him right now just because his team isn't something I want to invest in a lot. The rest of the characters I think are all totally worth investing for me right now, and I especially have found Doctor Strange to be really cool, a member of that Supernaturals team. So that's what I used there. So anyway, basically because I got Colossus's node unlocked, I'd like to farm him. He's not going to help me like unlock any legendaries or anything like that, but he synergizes extremely well with Phoenix. So, I'm doing all this work to get Hela built up so I can unlock Phoenix. So I would like to farm, more of Colossus's character shards and build his stars up a bit, just so he can be even a little stronger to synergize with Phoenix and really make that X-Men team shine. So the top of my roster here really is still Symbiote Spider-Man, and just my symbiotes, right? Carnage, Anti-Venom, Venom. Last time, I'm sure Anti-Venom was not built up as much as he is now. He was at 66,000 power, he's now at 72,000 power. I've upped his, gear from gear 12 to gear 13. So, definitely building him up. I don't know if I mentioned last time, but I T4'd all of his abilities. I'm sure I mentioned last time. So, I'm pretty sure I had done that at that point. So yeah. Let's see. Minerva, kind of hanging around the same. Now, this is something I just did this morning, and this was a pretty. It felt like a. I don't know what. It felt risky. It was a power move. I don't know what it was. X-23. So, I really feel like sinking resources into these characters in this game. It's a consequential decision, right? You don't do it lightly. And what I found was my symbiotes, I have felt like they're actually, I think I said last time before, they're not great in the arena. They're good in the arena, right? They're good in pretty much all modes, and people have talked about using symbiote teams to defeat Black Order teams, right? Which is like sort of the premier meta team for the arena. So they're good. But what I was finding was, I have a strategy where I can use my symbiotes against other symbiotes just by focusing on their weakest members. So when I see another symbiote team in the arena, I can just go in there. A lot of times, Scream is, she's new. A lot of people don't have her built up, but I think just her health pool. I mean, I don't know exactly, but it feels like it's a little shallow. And she's usually pretty easy to whittle down in health, and then you get your speed boost, you get your heal, and especially if Anti-Venom revives her, then you can just do that a second time. And I found it to be she's kind of been a weak link in that chain, especially mine, because Anti-Venom I have at 4 red star, 4 yellow star, and Scream I have at 4 red star, 4 yellow star. But Scream's still at gear tier 12, and you can just see like her her health is 110, right? Now if I go over to Anti-Venom here with kind of the same stats, aside from I've T4'd all his abilities, but he's got 157,000 health, right? It's better. And I was just like, man, if I could get somebody that was less squishy in there, I really think it would help me in the arena. And it's X-23. I kind of piggybacked off of some theory crafting that OMG was doing. He was just mentioning offhand that he thought X-23 would synergize well with the what the symbiotes do. And when I looked at her kit and stuff, I thought the same thing too, especially this mutant weapon, right? Now, I've just T4'd this, which was like part of the big decision. But, you know, what she does: on turn, heal for 10% of this character's max health. When an enemy drops below 50% health, fill the speed bar by 40%. Now, I believe what it was before is it was 20%, right? So we've added an extra 20%. So she's getting even more speed when any enemy drops below 50% health. And the reason why that works well with the symbiotes is the symbiotes get the same thing. It's more like when you drop the character below whatever it is, 20% health or something like that. That's when I mean, I can look here. When Carnage's passive really kicks into gear, he's got this Frenzied Fury. Yeah, when an enemy drops below 25% health, fill the speed bar by 30%. Okay, so she's actually, in a way, getting like more and better speed bar, you know, boost as you're taking the enemy's you know, health down. So when this character's health drops below 50%, gain 2 evade. I think that was normal from before. And then gain 60% focus. X-Force allies and Wolverine gain 60% focus and some war defense stuff. Which, I mean, I'm not to gloss over, but I didn't put this T4 on her for war defense. I put it on her for her speed boost, right? So that alone, I feel like is good. And I also switched her ISOs to healer. I realized because she's got that active healing, she's getting like, you know, 10% healing. With this healer on, she's getting more healing, right? Her active healing gains another 5%. She's putting minor regeneration on people. She's getting more health, right? Because that's the thing that I noticed was, man, I could use a higher health character to replace Scream for me, just because I don't have Scream. You know, it has high red stars and things like that. Also, I just don't know how deep her health pool is. All that stuff, you know, another max health at level 4, 10%, and more active healing at level 3. So I've gotten her all the way up to level 4. The only one I have left would be to gain another 10% active healing at level 5, which I think I'd like to do. But I just, all of these things together, I'm like, I think she would really be a powerhouse. And so her health right now is at 204, which is really good. 204,000. Obviously, it's better than Anti-Venom, but even Carnage, I feel like, is one of the higher health characters on this team, and his is only, well, you know, whatever, 20,000 more than that or so. So really good. Even, and I don't know, Symbiote Spider-Man, what's he at? Okay, he's like another 10,000 above that. But so it really brings her in line with Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage in terms of her health. And, you know, I had her at 5 red stars, so that's kind of why I was thinking, you know, this might be, it's something I was willing to take a chance on, because, you know, I realized, like, the only way I'm really going to be able to tell is to do it, right? Like, you theory craft, but then to actually tell, yeah, you have to kind of try it. If no one else has tried it, then you're the one who's trying it. But for me, it seemed like it was going to work out well. So, you know, not to go on about this forever, but here in the arena right now, I'm rank 56. I actually just did this battle recently, so I don't know how well I'm holding. But I've actually been using her on my offense team, but she's on the defense team. And we've actually held, I don't think I've dropped defense at all since I did this earlier this morning. It's been, you know, whatever, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours or something like that. But to not drop at all during that time, especially as we're getting, you know, we're not, you know, we're maybe a few hours away from the actual end of, you know, the tallying of the arena ranks. But I don't know. I think it was a really good decision for me. My particular situation with this, it's a huge increase for her. She last time was at, let's see here, I'm going way back here, but I think I went back too far. Where is X23? There she is. She was at 55,000 power. Now she's at 68,000. She was at gear tier 12. You know, she's only gone up 1 gear tier. But I did T4 one of those abilities and everything. So I'm feeling the the increase on that, she seems like she's doing a lot better, a lot more effective, and even I think she's going to help that X-Force team. Like for instance on Blitz, they're good, but like once you get right up to that top like 8.3, I feel like X-Force could be just my X-Force could be just a bit unreliable, less reliable than I wanted them to be. So I'm hoping that she's really helped with that as well. All right, enough about her. Ghost Rider. Don't know that I've done anything special on him. He's a little more powerful, just because of natural sort of power increase. As you play, you level up your Stark Tech abilities. Also, your ISOs can have a big impact on that too. So that's interesting to see. And let's see here. So yeah, another character I've built up a lot is Emma Frost. I've been talking about that. With Emma Frost, actually, like X-23, I could really see like how she fits into just what I'm doing right now. Emma Frost, I'm taking the community's word for it a little bit more. She certainly has been useful, but I don't know, like a lot of people have her on like their arena teams, and I was thinking, I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna put Emma Frost on my arena team with my symbiotes or something, but I haven't done that yet. She is at 5 red stars too, which I think is really good for me being not a free-to-play player, but kind of a light spender. And, but I don't have any T4s on her yet. I just haven't quite, I think seen like the obvious value that some other people have seen with her so far, and I think maybe that's just because I haven't built her up quite as much, or maybe I just am not quite sure exactly what her role is for me. Certainly on war defense, this is a really good war defense team. So just for that, I'm pleased to build her up and build this team up. And Mr. Sinister too. He might actually be something that at least maybe I understand a little bit more. He's way down on this list right here, because I just haven't worked on him as much. I also don't have as many red stars on him, but maybe I'll focus on him a little bit more because that cloning mechanic alone actually is super useful. But at any rate, you can see I've worked quite a bit on Emma Frost since last time, which I had intended to do. So yeah, what else do we have here in comparison to last time? Captain Marvel, I feel like she's almost gone up. Oh, no, not really. I mean, she has gone up. She's, she has. She's actually gone up to 54 from 50. Obviously I've gotten a lot more character shards for her, but that doesn't really matter until you actually like get a star increase. I think I upped her. I upped her gear tier, so she's gear tier 12. She's had a T4. She was my first T4. That's been on her for a long time there. That higher, further, faster, and it is quite useful. I actually almost thought that I had T4'd. No, I guess I hadn't T4'd WARBIRD. Anyway, she's a great character. I know that she's fallen out of the meta a bit. Sort of the veteran players aren't necessarily using her for like a ton of stuff, but she's a useful character, especially for where I am in the game. So yeah, anyway, obviously to get through those hero nodes, I brought her up to gear tier 12. Cable, worked on him quite a bit actually for the same reason. I think I brought him up a gear tier. You can see here I'm like working my way towards gear tier 12. He's at 11 right now. He's just really good. I've enjoyed, and I think I've got him on Fortifier right now, but I don't think that's what I was keeping him on. He was Raider. That's actually going to make him even stronger on this. I was just testing something out, trying to get through a challenge or something, and I thought maybe Fortifier would be good. So you can see him right there. 52,000. He was only at 44 before. Shield Security, Nick Fury. They're all hanging out. Aim Researcher, I got up to 6 stars, so I was able to take advantage of those 6 red stars. That was actually really cool. Again, like I said, it's not like I want to sink a lot of resources into my aim team, but that increased her power so much. Aim Researcher was at 35,000, she's now at 49, so that was a really big increase. I got, that was actually 2 stars since last time I did this, just in these past 3 weeks. I was able to do that. That's because she's farmable in the arena store. Every time you buy her with arena credits, it's 5 shards, so that's way better than farming them from a node. When you're farming that node, you get 2 shards, maybe 4. You really do farm faster from those stores. Let's see, what else do we have? You know, a general theme you're going to see here is purple gear, purple level characters, that I'm really just like trying to get everyone up to, like gear tier 11, gear tier 12. Just get them really useful, get them really solid. And a lot of that has been, you know, to do specific things, to do these challenges, to do these raids, to do that stuff. You know, Taskmaster is no different. Let's see here. He was like gear tier 11. He's now gear tier 12. He was 41 power. He's now 49,000. Cyclops, I want to say maybe the same, but maybe not. No, I hadn't really worked on Cyclops. I had gotten him. Well, no, I take that back. I got him an extra star, so he's actually at another star, and I think he also is on Fortifier. Let me get him on Striker where he belongs, and we can see what his actual like power level compared to last time was here. Okay, we'll get out of there. Come on. Okay, so now he is. I mean, you can see he jumped up. So he's 51. So yeah, he was 48,000. He's 51,000 now because of that star increase. So that was really good for him too. Yeah, it didn't really work in Scientist Supreme. Merc Lieutenant. This was another one. So I guess this past time I've actually done several T4s. Now this is funny too. You know, I've sunk resources into my Merc team, and we can look at my teams in just a minute here. But Merc Lieutenant, I ended up T4ing 2 of his abilities, and you know, it was one of those things. It's all based on usage. I was in Greek raid. What was it? The Gamma raid. And Gamma has these nodes where you can use mercenaries, and I've just built up my mercenaries team a lot because I've enjoyed using them in Blitz, and I've enjoyed using them in war defense. And I just realized that he actually is a really good character. I've heard some veteran players talking about Mercenary Lieutenant being like a valuable member of this team, and even it sounds like using them on other teams sometimes. And I wasn't quite sure why, but I started looking at his T4s and his kit, and I was like, I see why. So here now I have this T4, and I don't know if I remember exactly what it was like before, but on turn, 40% chance to heal most injured ally for 20% of this character's max health. So that's just ally, right? Anyone. So that he can be on any team. He's got a 40% chance on every single turn to heal the most injured ally for a quarter of his health. If it's a merc, heal again for 10% of this character's max health, which is a weird way of talking about it. I think you could just say heal for 35% or whatever. When a non-summoned Merc ally drops below 50% health, fill this character's speed bar by 40%. So this is another speed-related thing, and that's why I wanted to T4 this, really, because I was like, ooh, if we can get him doing basically just getting more turns, it means he heals more, right? In addition to that, because that's something that the mercs really need. In addition to that, apply offense up to all allies and self, apply speed up to all allies and self. Now, previously, I don't know, again, I don't think we can actually tell what it said, but it was applying offense up and speed up, but it wasn't to everyone. And it might have even, I don't even know if it was speed up at all. I think it was, but it was, at the very least, it was offense up to like 3 other characters or something, and then maybe it was speed up also to 3 other characters, but this T4, I think, either added... I know it added offense up to everyone, and then it might have added speed up in general, or at least just speed up to everyone and self. So again, these speed-related things, if we can heal those mercenaries, and if we can make them faster, and also is call the shots. And again, this isn't just mercenaries, right? This is allies. So this actually works on other teams. So that's why, like, this Merc Lieutenant can be a plug-and-play character. And I really think he's a better character than I had been thinking originally. So I only have him at gear tier 11. Getting him up to gear tier 12 is probably something that I should consider doing. In fact, I'll probably be gear tier 12ing my whole mercenaries team. Doctor Strange, you saw, I increased for those hero nodes. Baron Zemo, I am really liking. And just to do a small aside, one thing I'm realizing about this game is now that I'm, whatever, 10 months into this now, is it? There are some things about this game that I am really, what's the word that I'm trying to find here? It's really natural to me, right? And there are some things that aren't. So I think some of the things that are really come natural to me are just like some of the resource management, right? That's one of the things I really like about this. You can see that I really get into this. But the thing that doesn't come as naturally to me is really that the learning about all of the abilities of all the characters and going into the battles and playing them out one by one. There's this auto battle button, right? And 99% of the time I auto battle my battles. And I don't I will pick which opponent characters I focus on and things like that, and I'll pause the battle and I'll trigger an ability here and there, or not trigger an ability as the battle demands if I find that there's something that's the auto battle is really doing that I don't like. But for the most part, I'm not playing these battles out turn by turn, okay? And what that means is I'm realizing now, I've hit that point that I saw coming, where I don't know my characters as well as I should. Each of their attacks here have specific things that they do, and I'm starting. I understood before. Really, I was like, I know this day is coming. When you understand what each of these individual abilities do, and you're triggering them strategically or tactically as you're playing the battle, tactically, I guess you're gonna play better, right? And I think I'm at that point where I need to play a little bit better. So Baron Zemo, I want to understand his kit, and basically I want to be. He's one of those characters where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to work on building him up, I should be doing it for specific reasons that have to do with what his character can do for me, not just because like he's fun. But what I found so far is just that he's fun and he tends to win battles for me, right? That's like the level of engagement that I have with that. So anyway, I have built him up more. He was at only 35,000 power previously. He's now at gear tier 12. He's at 47,000 power. I have upped his ISO. I've just found him to be, all of his abilities are maxed out. Not T4'd, but at 6664, and like he's just been great, especially in war. He wrecks those Red Skull Hydra teams, but he, even not outside of war, like I've been using him on some challenges and stuff like that. I just really feel like he's a good character. And I've been enjoying using him, but I think it has revealed a little bit of a weakness in just me as a player. I'd like to learn these characters a little more deeply at this point. Anyway, I don't want to get bogged down too much in this stuff. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so pretty much the same here. Invisible Woman, obviously, I built up. It's super useful as a legendary, of course, and, a lot of stuff here, really. Like, even Ultron, I think I probably have been building up. He's a great character. I'm really focusing, I think, on these characters that I know are good. They're in this sort of middle purple stage, and I'm trying to flesh them out. I think I'm at that point where it's not about really raising their levels up. It's just about getting them the abilities they need, getting them the gear levels they need. Squirrel Girl, I did not have her abilities at 6664. I do now. She's great on Young Avengers. I think that she's an important member of that team. I want to build up. Ms. Marvel more, stuff like that. So yeah, that's all going really well. So one of the standout things here, of course, is Black Bolt. So excited to have unlocked Black Bolt. I'm just stuck a little bit in leveling him up. Now, these are the kind of characters, like Squirrel Girl sat without her abilities at 6664 for a long time. Black Bolt, I bought them to 6664 immediately. And that's because, you know, you're just going to prioritize some characters over another. Black Bolt is a meta character that's super useful, and I want to get him into like some challenges and some nodes and stuff right off, and he's going to be like doing heavy lifting for me. So I only have him at 3 red stars, but what can you do? You know, maybe I can use some promo credits to boost him up, but you know, I have him at 6664, and I'm just working on his gear. Of course, he's bio gear. Squirrel Girl is bio gear, so you know, you're competing against all these characters that take bio gear with each other, if you know, to try to farm enough of this gear and stuff. So I'm just stuck on, you know, just getting some more gear for him. He's only gear tier level 10. Obviously, I want to get him up to 12. Don't know when or why or how exactly I'm going to be like going above that for him. I don't think I'm going to be trying to put him into Dark Dimension 4 or 3, I should say, at this point. Yeah, maybe not Dark Dimension 4 either, but maybe. Anyway, I think I just have heard people being like, you know, he's not like a critical character for Dark Dimension 3. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, you know, Mr. Sinister, I don't know if I've built him up from last time a lot. Little bit. But yeah, nothing that I see. Oh, his gear tier. I brought his gear tier up 1. So, you know, a little bit here and there. Graviton, I realize he's another guy who, he was at like 5553, right? So now I've got him at 5663. You know, I'm building up his abilities a little bit, because he's kind of a weak link. Not a weak link. He's powerful in that AIM team, but I just don't have him built up a ton. Even stuff like, you know, Crossbones, Winter Soldier, you know, I think I worked on them just a little bit. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, Crossbones was at 18,000, so he's at 27,000 now. So that was a big increase. I'm not sure. Yeah, Winter Soldier was at 13,000. He was in like the blue gear, so he's now in purple gear with you know, 26,000, a huge increase on that. And you know, and at that point I think we're just going to look at some of these teams too, because rather than these individual characters, you know, we're getting down to this blue gear. But I've worked on some of these teams too. These are ones that they're low, right? So you just have to like you unless it's a particular character like Black Bolt, where you can just kind of like, I'm gonna bring him right up to level 65. I'm going to give him all of his abilities I can. I'm just going to try to launch him into the stratosphere as much as I can. When it's like a whole team that you're working on, I just like a little bit here and there. You know, okay, I'm going to bring everyone up a couple levels. I'm going to give everyone like a little bit of extra gear. And it's a lot slower. So we're going to look at that. And also, I guess, you know, Pim Tech has been happening here too. So we'll look at that maybe in the teams. So let's go here. We're gonna hop into Blitz. We're doing Yellow Jackets Blitz right now. You can see I've gotten up to 6.4 million. I've kind of tapered off. I was going pretty hard on his Blitz, but then I'm like, I don't think, you know, if I get him up to maybe 7 million or 8, I don't know if I can even hit 8 million. Like, there's only 3 hours left. Like, I think I've gotten where I need to be. I'm hoping to at least get 45 shards of him. That's going to get him an unlock, and then, you know, he's going to have another blitz here coming up at some point. But, you know, then I'll have that whole Pimtech team, which is really exciting. So I can talk about who I unlocked. Here, let me just look last month. It looks like I didn't have Stature or Ghost. Okay, so I have Stature and Ghost now. So really my strongest team is actually at the bottom here. Of course the Symbiotes. They're great. 382,000 power, and that's with Scream. And I guess maybe, well, it depends. In Blitz, I'm going to use them with Scream, but you know, in like Arena, I'm using them with X-23. So here's my X-Force team. They're my second strongest team, and especially since I've boosted up X-23, they're now at 245,000 power. Then we have my Mercenaries, which is actually my third strongest team. So yeah, I may have misspoke last time, and that's, you know, one of those things, like, I want you, I don't know, maybe take what I say with a grain of salt. Like, Um, I was really convinced that there was something going on with making sure that all of your characters on your team were skill-based characters. And I don't know that I'm wrong about that, but I'm wondering if, like, I looked at the kit for Taskmaster, and I really thought that it had to do with his triggering his assist now, right? That's part of this copycat criminal, I believe. On spawn, gain offense up for 2 turns, 60% chance to gain assist now on each mercenary villain ally's turn. Now, for some reason, last video, I really thought it was each skill mercenary villain skill character, right? So, I don't know why that was. It may be because it was that way when Copycat Criminal was a lower level than level 5, okay? So that may be where that came from, and just now that I've gotten up to level 5, that isn't the case anymore, and so I'm sort of working off of old information. But there's another thing that could be going on. So it's, you gain a 50% block chance, gain 25% block amount, gain 10% chance to counterattack, 10% per mercenary ally additionally, and then 10% damage per skill enemy. Now, I noticed on the internet that I had read somewhere that that text was wrong, and it's actually not per skill enemy, it's per skill ally. And that could be the information also that I had been working off of, because in that case, then it's also if, you don't necessarily want to have tech allies or something like that, because if you have that extra skill ally, he's going to be getting an extra 10% damage, and maybe that's not like as deciding the battle for the whole team or something, but that's still good, and that's still something I'd be interested in having. But I don't know, it's one of those things, like, if you're trusting the game, you're going off the text here, but this game in particular, we've found that they screw up this text pretty frequently, and so if people can kind of like, go into the code and kind of like do whatever they call a data mine and find out other information, or just through testing, OMG calls themselves the master beta testers, right? Just sort of making a joke about it, but it's like, seriously, like, this stuff gets kicked out to the community, and then we sort of like test it out, and we actually find that no, it's actually not damage per skill enemies, it's damage per skill allies, right? So so that could be what I was going off of also. But, do I know that that's the case? No, I'm not confident. I'm not sure about that. Who am I to say? That could just be the kind of a rumor. I haven't like sat down and tried to test it out. So I just want you guys to be clear that in my last video, when I was saying the reasons why I'm using Mercenary Soldier as a skill character on that team, I don't know if I'm doing that for the right reasons, so I may be just, building up Merc Soldier for no good reason. And also, I did on War Defense run into a version of this team with Shuri and Killmonger on it, and they were strong as heck. So, the thing is, I don't know that I'm using my Wakandans for anything special. They're on War Defense also, so maybe instead of having them as a separate team, if I bring them into my Mercs team for War Defense, maybe that's a better way to go. But then again, I'm still going to be using this team on Blitz, and in the Greek Gamma raids, and, I don't know, I don't see any reason not to use Merc Soldier on that team, but, maybe I try Shuri and Killmonger out, and they just do way better, so we'll see. I may just be totally silly with that, I probably am. Next up, long story aside, we have the X-Men. X-Men, I'm really excited to get Phoenix in here. They're going to be really great, but, I have built up a lot of these characters, Cyclops, Psylocke, Wolverine to a certain extent, and they're pretty good, just the way they are. AIM, I feel like I don't know if I've over-invested in AIM a little bit. I over-leveled AIM a little bit, and I don't really want AIM to be in this position in my teams, I don't think, but they're a really useful team, so they're good. I just don't know that, I'm putting a little bit more into them because they have good red stars, and Graviton's like a little underpowered in comparison to the other characters, but I want to get some of these teams up stronger than my AIM team. Young Avengers here. Really enjoying this team. I want to work on Ms. Marvel, get them a little better. Work on America Chavez here maybe a bit. Maybe just get like another red star into her or something, because her red stars are just really low. But yeah, Squirrel Girl, it's a fun team. Supernaturals, I would really like to have Supernaturals. I think up another, one of my stronger teams here. Maybe even then, like Young Avengers and stuff like that. Like I said, Doctor Strange has been really great. Mordo and Ghost Rider. I have Ghost Rider at 5 red stars, I think. He's just a really great character, so they're a lot of fun. As Guardians, they can just hang out here. I think they're doing fine. Really enjoying this Baron Zemo Hydra team. I've got Ronin on there with them right now. I have to look at his kit. I don't know if there are like really strong reasons to have his kit in there, him in there because of what he does, but he was just sort of at their same level. It's actually been really good. Like, I have no complaints. This is just, kind of a trash team. I mean, it's not like Thanos is a trash character or anything, but like, there's no special synergy. I just threw in characters that were approximately the same level. I mean, the Kree Noble is pretty low leveled, but they were just extra characters I had, but they're in there with Ultron, so they kick butt, right? It doesn't matter. You just have Ultron on the team, and they're just in there for Blitz, and they do fine for where they are. Guardians, they really, like, if you just look at like what I've put into them, like they seem like they could use some more resources, but there's no reason. Like, I just don't use them for much. Like, they're just kind of a Blitz team and a War team, and they're pretty reliable on Blitz and War exactly the way they are. I put some extra resources into Star-Lord because I was using him on some nodes, but they're fine. They're doing good. Captain Marvel, she's great. I've got her on this team with these Kree minions. Obviously, she's powered up a lot more than the Kree minions, but this functions the way that I need it to on Blitz, and and then I can just pull her off that team and use her in War when I need. So that's going great too. No complaints there. This team, so this Marauders, I think I would definitely like to build up more. They're turning out to be really good on War defense. I really think Mr. Sinister is a really key character, and again, everyone says that Emma is really great, so there's some, I mean, maybe Emma's just like not a character that I know how to use right now, or whatever, but I really think like when the whole community is rallying around a character, being like, this character is really good, like they're just good, right? They're not lying. So I think that this team also is pretty good. I don't know exactly where I want them to be, but I think they should be a higher up team, somewhere around here in the 150, 180 range at the very least, and doing some heavy lifting for me on both War defense, Blitz, and maybe they have some usage. Certainly these characters, I think, especially Emma Frost and Mr. Sinister, in some some other stuff, maybe Dark Dimension, or challenges, or raid nodes or something. And then Wakandans, they're fine where they are. I put a little extra into them for the Chaos Theory event. Then we have these Inhumans. Obviously, I'm trying to build up Black Bolt. I think I will build up these Inhumans also. Excuse me. How come I feel like there's an extra Inhuman here? What is it? It's Black Bolt, Karnak, Yo-Yo, Quake. Oh, Ms. Marvel. Okay, so Ms. Marvel's on the Young Avengers, so that's why this is the Inhumans team. Quake and Crystal. Crystal seems really good. She has this cool AoE. Quake has some like slow and stuff like that, which is probably useful. Yo-Yo's got this good synergy with Black Bolt, and everyone says Karnak is sort of a, like, maybe not the best character of the bunch, but I'm sure this is a team that's worth investing in. I would like to bring them up, higher anyway. Sinister Six, I'm not going to do anything with until I get Doc Ock, probably, right? This 2.0 Brotherhood team, though, this is probably the one that, like, out of all of these, is probably the most out of whack from where they probably should be. I think that this 2.0 Brotherhood team should probably be up around here, like maybe my second or sorry, maybe at least third or fourth strongest team anyway, if not second or third, right? I just have, oops, if I can find it again, I just have such good red stars in them, it seems like. Now, and I say that, no 6 stars, no 7 stars, right? So it's they're not great, but I should say just solid, really solid red stars on these. 3 characters with 5 red stars, 1 character with 4, and then what's his face here? Juggernaut was really just like lagging behind a little bit. He actually had 2 red stars. I used promotion credits to give him 3 red stars because I'm like, he shouldn't be like the weak link in this team. And I might save up and do a promo credit for 4 red stars, or I may just wait and hope that I pull them for him at some point. But these guys have stuff obscuring their stars, but like my X-Force team is similarly, like, I've got 5 red stars on X-23. I have 5 red stars on Cable. I think I've got like 4 on Negasonic, and then maybe 4 on Deadpool 2, and then like 3 or something on what's her face. So anyway, like I feel like just based on red stars, like they're pretty solid too, and I don't mind having built them up as much as I have. I love them. They're really useful for me. But Brotherhood 2.0, like, out of all these teams, I'm probably going to be trying to go hard on them at some point when it makes sense, when I just can really get resources into that whole team and get them built up. They're a priority. Hand I don't care about other than their Relic Hunt event. Fantastic Four, because they're supposed to be good on War Offense, I'd like to build them up a little bit more. Plus, I have 5 red stars on Namor. We'll see. The red stars aren't good on the rest of them. I've already built up Invisible Woman. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I guess they're just probably not a high priority for me right now. Red Skull Hydra is really good on war defense. Even just a 40k one helps, right? I might just keep going a little bit. I definitely want those extra red stars on Sniper. Probably just passively going to work on them in the background. These teams I'm not going to work on. I like Power Armor, but I'm probably not going to work on them. And then we have some of these Sinister 6 characters, which I'll be putting into Sinister 6 maybe once I get what's his face there. But yeah, that's where I am with those. So this was long. I hope that it was interesting. I blab on. Goodness, it's almost been an hour. It's been almost 50 minutes, I guess. So if you stuck with me, thank you. I just wanted to show you what I'm up to with my roster. And we'll check in again next month. Still really enjoying this game. I think it has some issues with, like, pricing, with money pricing, right? Even just from, say, like, I'm gonna hop into let's look at the gear, right? Okay, so we'll just take a quick look. This blue gear, okay? Oh, this isn't blue gear. We'll go down more. So let's say I wanted to get some blue gear for someone. Gosh, these aren't. I need to go down further. Here we go. Okay, so I want to get some of this. Okay, so we're going to say find, and we're going to see where's a 99-cent offer for 30 of those. Those are the kind of microtransactions I'm like, okay, that's not that big a deal. 99 cents, $1.99 for, like, some of that stuff. That's fair enough in a game like this. If you decide you want to spend a little money, you spend a little money. But then we're going to go up to the purple gear. And let's say I'm like, okay, well, I want to buy, maybe I get stuck and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy some of this. Well, there aren't any, like, direct offers for this. Maybe let's find something that's like a more a more direct sort of offer. Well, I don't even really see. Anyway, that's the thing. You know, it's like, well, spend $10 on this pack of all this stuff. And look, you're getting less of each one, right? You were getting 30 of the other ones. Now you're getting 20 of each of these. And you're spending $10 instead of, what, $3, right? It's ridiculous, right? Like this should be priced pretty much the same as the other one. Like, why is it more expensive? Right? That's the thing. I'm like, it's like, because you probably also need more of these resources. Like, there's this exponential curve on the pricing for this game, which, you know, I'm not sitting here like I'm opening my wallet a bunch for this game. I mean, maybe I am a little more even than I should, but like I'm still spending $5-10 a month. I mean, you know, if I really get caught up, maybe I've spent $20 in a month, but you know, I'm not spending heavily on this game. But anyway, I just think this game would be so much, like, it would just be so much more pleasant seeming as an environment to be gaming in, where it didn't feel like we were being preyed upon for money. But I don't know, welcome to mobile games, I guess. I mean, I don't want to shrug it off. Like, I don't think it's a good thing. But I don't think it's affecting me overly much. So, you know, maybe that's just where it is. So, otherwise, I think this game's a ton of fun, and I'm loving it. So, we'll catch you again next month. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.